So Rob Moore invited me to sponsor his latest interview with Robert Kiyosaki, and I jumped at the opportunity. So the interview is on his Disruptors YouTube channel, Rob Moore's, and podcast. And I am sponsoring that episode. And why did I jump at the chance to do that? Well, literally, Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, opened my eyes to the fact that there's such a thing as property investment education, right? And that just transformed my life, learning how to invest in property correctly. The main things in that book are the difference between assets, liabilities, good debt, bad debt, and the fact that you've got to take advice from somebody qualified to give you advice, right? So I'd been investing in property for a long time without literally knowing what I was doing, and his book led me to progressive property ultimately to learn how to do it right. And understanding the difference between assets and liabilities is huge. My house where I live, I know that it's not an asset, it's a liability. It's a nice house, don't get me wrong, but it's not putting money in my pocket. It's my assets that fund my big fat liability, which is my house, and my assets and my investment properties. My car, I've got a Porsche Taycan. It's not an asset. I own the car, but it's a liability, and it's my assets that fund that liability. My boat behind me in this marina, it's not an asset, it's a liability. So, but here's the thing: most people get it completely wrong, and it's really fascinating listening to Robert Kiyosaki being interviewed, and he just totally contradicts everything that we are taught in school and literally from birth from our parents and teachers and faith leaders. Contradicts it all, and he explains why most people are lied to about money and about assets and liabilities and about debt and all of those things. So you should definitely watch the interview. It's really fascinating, that's for sure. And like I say, it's completely changed my life, taking advice from people qualified to give me advice. There's also actually a free report attached to it, where it's an essay report that I have written, totally free, that you can download from that. I think I have actually put a link in my bio on my page where you can go over to watch the episode there as well, and also from there you can download that free report. So have a look at the interview. It's like I say, completely fascinating listening from the man himself. Do you know one of the main things that people get indoctrinated from birth to believe is that they should exchange time for money in a job, and then literally get the biggest mortgage that they can get, and that traps them in their job, and they're now a slave to the system. And I know by far that the biggest asset that I possess is that knowledge up there that I had to pay to learn how to create assets, not liabilities, or assets that pay for my liabilities, and to not be trapped in a job. So that, do you agree with me, is by far the greatest asset. And if you've got to pay to put that asset up there, then so be it, because do you know what? You're not going to learn it at school. So have a little look at that interview, guys. Here's to your success in property and serviced accommodation. Remember, your future needs you. Take care.